Hi guys, today I'm going to read you a story about planting a garden, and I'm very excited to read this story because I love to garden. You might remember way back in September when I sent you a letter about myself. I told you about my vegetable garden because I love plants, I love gardening, I love planting things, and in my garden here I've already planted some spinach, some lettuce, some broccoli because those vegetables don't even mind the cool weather we're having now. So today I'm going to read you this book called The Surprise Garden, but before I start I'm going to tell you about a couple words you might not have heard before that are going to appear in the story. So one of the words you're going to hear is the word trowel. Trowel is like a small shovel that you can hold in your hand that you can use to kind of dig a little hole to plant something. So you're going to hear the word trowel. You can listen for that. When you hear that one in the story, you could maybe raise your hand or you could say something so I can tell that you're listening for it. You will hear the word shoot, but this isn't shoot like shoot a water gun or something. This is like a little sprout. A small plant is called a shoot, like right when it comes up from the ground. The word bloom is just another word for flower, or sometimes it means when a flower opens, it's blooming. The word bloom, you can listen for that. And then finally the word petal. And the petal is sort of the colorful part of a flower. It's those like soft kind of like, almost feels like fabric part of the flower. That's called a petal. You can listen for that too. Okay. So again, the title of this book is The Surprise Garden by Zoe Hall. We're planting the seeds for a surprise garden. Can you guess what we will grow? It's kind of cool to think that all those different shapes and sizes of seeds will grow into all sorts of different vegetables. We don't know. It's a surprise. First, we use our trowel and rake to loosen the soil. There's the word trowel. You can see her using it. Mom has given us each a handful of all kinds of seeds. Look at all the different shapes and sizes. You can see some of them are big, some of them are small, some of them are round. They're all going to grow different things. We poke the seeds into the soil one by one. We have painted sticks different colors to mark the different kinds of seeds. Then we water the seeds and wait for our surprise garden to grow. Soon the seeds sprout into small green shoots. Oh, there's that word shoot. You can see all the little shoots popping up. We water the plants and the sun warms them. Our garden grows and grows. On some plants, flowers bloom. The word bloom, I heard it. You can see the little blooms on here. Before long, the petals fall off. Surprise! We see peas, beans, and squash. So those petals, that colorful part of the flower fell off, and then you can have the peas and beans instead. On some plants, leaves grow close to the ground. Surprise! We see spinach and lettuce. You'd use those things to make a salad. And what's growing here? Surprise! We see broccoli and cauliflower. Is anything growing here? Surprise! We find carrots and radishes. They are growing under the ground. Here is the longest plant in our garden. Flowers bloomed on this plant too. Surprise! We find a big watermelon. That would be fun to grow. Here is the tallest plant in our garden. Surprise, it's a sunflower and it's full of tasty seeds. birds like those. All summer long, the food in our surprise garden ripens. We like to pick the food. I can see them picking peas and radishes and carrots, squash. And eat it too. Surprise, we're having a garden party. Make a big salad with watermelon. Ooh, and here are all the different seeds that we saw and what they grew into. Here's the pea seed, beans, spinach, lettuce, broccoli, cauliflower, carrot, radish, squash, watermelon, and sunflower. Well, as you guys know, you voted for an activity for me to do after I was done reading this story. And this week, the winner of the activity vote was the celery science demonstration. This is pretty cool. So inside every single plant, there's something called xylem that slurps up the water from the roots and takes it all the way up to the leaves. And we're going to show how xylem works in a plant, how it sucks up that water and waters the whole plant. So what you need for this science demonstration is just a piece of celery, and I like to choose the ones that have leaves on top because it's a little bit cooler to see this when you have the ones that have leaves on top. And then you need a glass of water, just like this, and some food coloring. And I want to show you even before I start. You can't see this on every plant, but on celery you can see it. If you cut the end of it, you can actually see little holes in there, and that's the xylem that's going to slurp up the water. It's almost like a straw that you can drink from that's going to slurp up the water, and it's going to bring it all the way from the bottom of the celery all the way to the top. And you'll be able to tell this by watching the color fill up the whole celery. So what you're going to do, so you're going to take your glass of water and you're going to drop some food coloring in it. I like to put in about maybe 10 drops or so. I only put in 2 because I'm just showing you for right now. And then you're going to pop your celery into the glass with your food coloring. And you have to let it sit for a long time. I like to do it at night, and then when I wake up in the morning, you'll be able to see the change. So you won't see the change on this one right now, but I did some last night so you can see what they look like when they're done. So Mr. Sabin's gonna pass these over to me. So this one I did purple food coloring, and you can see how the celery slurped up that purple water and it even made the leaves turn purple. And if you look carefully, even the celery itself is slightly purple. And the cool part is you can actually still eat this celery because it is just food coloring, so it won't hurt you. So if you want to eat some purple celery, you can eat purple celery. And I did one other color too, so you can see it. And I did blue, so you could maybe make some blue celery and eat blue celery. And this works with other things too. If you go to the store and buy some carnations, those are a kind of flower, and put those in colored water, they will slurp up the colored water too, and the petals will actually change color. So if you get a chance, it's really fun to try this and turn your celery or carnations all sorts of different colors. Well, I hope you liked our book and our science experiment this week. Don't forget to vote on next week's Mother's Day activity, and I'll see you next week. Bye!